차렷, 경례. Would you tell us your name and your brokerage?
Name is Thomas De Herrara. Name of the brokerage is One Real Estate, Metro Brokers Company.
How long have you been in real estate sales?
I started in 1987.
Hey, so you've been in it for, gosh,
31 years.
31 years. Wow, that's a long time. What was your best year as far as sales?
There's two answers to that. As far as sides, I had a 3-year span, and to put this in perspective, in 1991, I was in roughly my fifth fifth year, and I was thinking about getting out of the business because I had sold 12 or 14 homes. I was doing one deal a month.
Mm-hmm.
And at the old prices, you know, a big home was 150,000. So it's not like you were raking it in if you sold one of those. So in 1992, I landed an account as a list assist agent for US Home, who later became Lennar. And my fortunes kind of changed overnight in that I went from selling 14 homes to the next year I sold 114 homes. 1993, I sold 123. And the next year 133, and that was all by myself. My best year financially was 2006. I was with Remax, and I couldn't tell you how many sides I did, but I know I made 465,000 is what I grossed that year, and that was more so just because working with the same builder account, I started buying and reselling those homes. And that was before we headed into the downturn. As I said,
Right.
We had 3 bad markets. I started at a bad market, 87. People forget how bad September 11th, 2000 was. And then, of course, 2008.
Oh, I remember those years.
They were fraught with tension, but yeah. But anyways, for the most part, a lot of good years. You know, it's funny in real estate how it's easy to forget the good and sometimes concentrate on the bad. And that's one of the things you have to really learn to overcome in this business.
Mm-hmm.
Is just how to, you know, get out of bed every morning, even if there's nothing to do. My
Right.
catchphrase used to be, "It's amazing what might happen if you just go into the office every day."
Right. That's awesome. So let's focus on your failure. I know nobody wants to talk about their failures. Was there any failure in your career of 31 years?
Failure, as I told you earlier, is all over my face. You know, I'm 56 now, but when I started in real estate, this was me, all fresh-faced and clean shaven. And now when you get to be my age, all the age spots from worrying, I've got them all getting burned off by the dermatologist, so forgive me. But yeah, a couple mistakes that come to mind is, you know, you start drinking your own Kool-Aid when you're selling 120 homes a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to be pretty exact on my pricing when I was going out to meet with the builder's clients because they would send me in. In fact, I wouldn't go in, I would go into sales meetings at US Home Lennar, and I'd say, "Hi, I'm Thomas De Herrera. I'm not a realtor. I'm a professional double move counselor." And what I meant by that, they would always laugh because they would send me in and I would readjust people's reality. If they thought their home was worth 150 and it was worth 130, you know, I'd still give them the benefit of the doubt at 135, but, you know, you got to talk them down from those prices because they need to sell their home in order to buy. So on one such occasion, a guy who had bought a home from me wanted to resell it. And I never saw these new homes. I was selling 50 of them a year. So I would never see where in the neighborhood people bought. And this particular gentleman he was a wonderful client and unfortunately had been diagnosed with MS. And so he needed to move into a home, out of his home into another one. And he wanted to go at a certain set price, which I thought was a little high because he backed up to 128. And I fought him on it, just like I did all those clients who needed to have their prices adjusted. And he said, Tom, I really like you and I want to use you. It's your deal to have. And I was so adamant that I was correct because, I was Thomas De Herrara, who sold 10 homes a month. And so he stuck to his guns, hired another agent, and he sold that home in 2 days at his price.
Oh, wow.
And that was just a reminder that, hey, you know what? And we're in a market where I think you're more prone to give people the benefit of the doubt because homes are getting bid up, $15,000, $20,000, but that wasn't always the case in this business. And my biggest failure actually happened back around 2014. As I mentioned, I had a list assist account from 1992 to 2008. And what ended that was the division president died and a couple sales managers died, and we went into a recession. And so that account became somebody else's. But I managed to gain a new account with Century Communities, and ran into a little problem right out of the gate in that every time the first 4 deals I went out on, the loan officer they were sending out was actually giving the same leads to her boyfriend, who was a real estate agent. And so my biggest failure on that was I overreacted. When Century didn't call her on the carpet about it, I actually told Century to pound sand, and I actually walked away from the account. My exact words was, somebody has to show a little integrity here. Unfortunately, it has to be me. And in hindsight, I probably walked away from about a $500,000 account a year.
Wow.
And not to mention the residual business that comes off of an account like that. And so sometimes you just have to step back. It's kind of like if you write an email with a little bit of vinegar in it, you're better off just kind of putting it away overnight and readdressing it the next day. So,
yeah, let that vinegar kind of pass its odor.
Yeah, you have to, we're in a world where people are on bus benches and on flyers and social media, and they start drinking their own Kool-Aid. And 2008 and 2009, 2010, it humbled me. And if it didn't humble you as a real estate agent, if you were lucky enough to, have an investor account or something, good for you. But you're talking to the new and improved Thomas De Herrara, not from a real estate standpoint, because now I just try and do my 18 to 24 deals a year. Unless you have an account like that, or you're tied in to an attorney, for probate or something, it's hard to pull those kind of numbers, and people need to realize that you don't sell 100 homes without having a few networking ties.
Good. I love that. So I always end with one golden nugget advice for our young brokers.
Unfortunately, you get 5 golden nuggets. Okay.
Awesome. Let's go.
Number 1 is the new agents don't get sucked into an alternate reality. Number 2 is, for any first appointment, dress appropriately. That doesn't mean you have to wear a suit and tie, but just wear something that says, for your personality, hey, look at me. I'm here and I'm taking this serious. Number 3, your schedule is different than your friend's schedule. Okay, this is very, very important. Your friends work Monday through Friday. They get off at, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. They're going to go to happy hour. They can stay out and party all night long. They can get home at 3 a.m. with 5 bar stamps on their hand. You cannot show homes like that. Okay, your schedule is different from them. You can go to a movie at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday if you have nothing going on, because your weekends, if you do have some stuff going on, you can get out there and do an open house. You can volunteer to show some homes for somebody who's out of town. Business begets business. And so just keep in mind that if you want to go work out from 10 a.m. to noon on Wednesday, that's fine, because you may be working at 6 o'clock at night when all your friends are going off to play in their softball league. So adapt to that. Number 4, you ready?
Yes. 4.
Number 4 sign. All right. This is the most important one. If you forget the other 4, remember this. Always wear good socks and clean socks, because you never know when you're going to have to take your shoes off inside somebody's home. or we're
That's
not
great.
going home. Okay. You may be thinking you're going to go do something else that day. You get a phone call to show one of your own listings, and you got to take your shoes off and
There's a
be
hole in
prepared.
it. There's a big hole in it.
Yeah, you don't want to be there. Okay.
Number
And
5.
number 5 is just be prepared. If you're going to go show homes in a neighborhood you're unfamiliar with, don't just rely on your GPS. Go drive those homes the day before or the morning before. So when you pull up to it, you're confident that it's the same home, that you know your way in and out of an area. So when you leave, you're not having to cross a median or take a left and a U-turn, especially in these days when people are following you. The less U-turns, the better. So the other thing too is if you're going to go do an open house, if you want to bring food or any of that stuff, that's fine, but dress accordingly, still look presentable, okay? There's a lot of agents who can get away just wearing t-shirts and jeans, and John's laughing right now because that's me in the office. But when I go on a first appointment or do an open house, I'm wearing slacks and I'm wearing a button-down shirt, but I take along brochures that I've had made. And the reason I do that is because open houses can be gold for me. I pull a lot of business. I pull 3 to 5 deals a year off doing open houses, and I should do more of them. But what this brochure allows me to do is if I take one that's just like a one-sheet MLS to meet people at the door, and I always say the same thing. Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm the guy on the sign, or I'm Thomas. I'm not the guy on the sign. You're going to like me because I don't follow you around. They always laugh because they've probably just been to a open house where the agent is attached to their hip the minute they come in the door. And so I let them wander around, but before they take off, I say, do me a favor on the way out, tell me what you think. And so as they go out the door, they always stop and talk to me, and that's why I pick up the business. And for those people who are in a hurry, I try and give them a little brochure, and it says different things about me. It's more my personality, and that's the thing that works for me is my personality. I like to have fun. I try and talk to my clients in much the same manner I would talk to friends, or John and I will joke in the hallway, etc. And so be yourself and see if you can make that work for yourself.
Wow, wouldn't that be nice if everybody just be themselves, just be natural and with their clients and so forth. So Tom, you're amazing. Thank you for, doing this short interview for us, and hopefully our young agents got at least 1 or 2 of those 5 golden nuggets. Hopefully they got at least 1 or 2.
And the bonus nugget is this business takes a little while. So don't beat yourself up, right? Mm-hmm. It takes a while to get to 20 deals a year, but you can help yourself by getting out of bed, going to the office, doing an open house, take on as much as you can early on, keep in touch with your clients, and one day it'll come easier.
Yep. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I got to give you a Taekwondo bow out here. So
I'm just glad that you told me Taekwondo. So you never want to pick a fight with the wrong guy, right? It's important to know who knows karate and who the wrestlers are in life. Not like at the age of 56, I'm starting barroom brawls, but good to know.
Oh, right? You're so funny, Tom. So bowing out here. 차렷 경례.